They say that one closed, but it's not. What's up, Briz?
Yo, hi. What's going on, man?
Yo, Brad,
Hey,
what's
how
up,
are you?
man?
Yo,
What's going on, man?
not much, man. Just got back from seeing Black Widow in the movie theater.
I feel like
You
like I was
you still go
like
ahead,
I was saying
Briz.
earlier. I was saying earlier in the joint. I was saying that Canelo could be what's his name? He be Plant.
Can't hear you,
He got
T.Y.
that fight of the year. He got that fight of the year sold up. That unified
T.Y.
heavyweight division. What's up?
We can't hear you.
Yeah, it sounds like you
All
far
right.
away.
My bad. You can hear me now?
So, Brad, what you got going on, Brad?
Man, you know what, man? I just got a call about one of my guys fighting on the Errol Spence Manny Pacquiao card. So,
Ooh, that's
uh,
big.
yeah, man. He hurt his shoulder, so we gotta go to the orthopedic on Friday to see if he's gonna be all right. But if he is, that should be cool, man. It's not the best timing in the world, but I gotta see, man. So, got somebody else going August the 14th. So
We'll get
we'll
something else
see.
in.
We'll see.
Send me their Instagrams and I'll post some of that stuff for my followers to see it.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
definitely will.
What's their names?
Romeo Cruz is
Okay.
hold on, let me see if I can find his journal. Right here. This the kid right here. You see his handle?
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be like it's I gotta see because I got another guy fighting August the 14th, Cassius Chaney.
I know him.
He fight. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I can't be at two places at one time, so I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do all of this, man.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'll figure it out.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Appreciate
No
that.
doubt.
We on here Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, we do our little recaps. So, what you think about the Charlo Cantano fight?
That was a good fight, man. It's a good fight. When you get two top guys like that going at it in their primes, man, the fights is hard. They tough.
Yeah.
I thought both guys fought well. I studied both guys real good. Because obviously they could have been future opponents for Julian Williams a few years ago. I think a draw is not out of the question. I probably think that it's either was a draw or Castano edged it slightly. You know, people don't really know how to score fights. You score fights 12 individual rounds. It's not a carryover effect. When you score a round, right? Y'all, I don't know if y'all ever paid attention to this, but what happens is when you score a round, you get the judge. There's somebody from the commission. They walk around and they pick up your score and they take it somewhere. So like you don't even have a chance to like look at the old round that you scored. You know what I'm saying? So it's 12 individual rounds. It's not a carryover effect on a on the scorecard. You know, so, you know, a lot of people like, you know, like if you notice when a guy gets hurt, right, everybody scores like the rounds after that for him. You know what I mean? Even though that was one round, like, you know, Charlo hurt him a couple of times, but that's just one round. That's not like you can't score 3-4 rounds in a row because a guy had one big round. Round for round, I think that Castano maybe won 7 rounds. I could see Charlo winning 6 if it's you know, there's a couple of swing rounds, but it was a competitive fight. It's a good fight, man. It was really, you know, they both put it all on the line.
Yeah, I thought that's how I had it too. I had it 7-5. I thought it was pretty clear into the championship rounds. I do like how Charlo dug deep in the championship rounds as he was supposed to. I felt like him hurting.
He's a clutch fighter, man.
Yeah,
You know,
he
he
is.
gets outboxed a lot. He loses a lot of rounds, man. But that boy is clutch. He lands shots that he needs to land, man. He's a clutch fighter. He really is. You gotta give him credit, man. A lot of people don't like them, like the Charlos, man. But he's a clutch fighter. He really is, man. He lands the shots that he needs to land, you know, at the big. He like Reggie Miller in basketball.
Yeah.
He's a real clutch fighter.
He's one fighter you can never count on no matter how well the fight is going for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing because he does lose a lot of rounds, though. It's weird. Like most of the elite guys, they win 8-9 rounds in a 12-round fight. He's not like that. He loses, you know, 5-6 rounds in most of his tough fight. If he don't knock you out, he struggles with his decisions, but he really knows how to land a punch when he needs to.
One thing I also felt, me personally, I felt like he came in there with one game plan, but when things got tough, I don't know if he didn't think of another game plan or it was just so much the pressure getting on his mind, it was hard for that mentally to think of it. Because I know how it is when somebody's right there in your face throwing hella punches like Castano was.
I think he fight like he always fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how he always fights. You know what I'm saying? He had tough decision versus Trout. He was losing to John Jackson. He fought Tony Harrison like that twice. That's how he always fights. You know what I mean? I don't think it was nothing new. You know, he got a guy in there that was on him. So that's you know, it's easy on the outside for everybody to say different things. Brian Castano could fight. He had a lot to do with that. You know what I mean?
Brad, why you think he ain't throw that uppercut? It seemed like it was open. And Soro, I think Laura had a little success with the uppercut. Why didn't Charlie throw the uppercut?
He probably just didn't see it. You know, the way we see the fight on the outside is not the way they see the fight on the inside. You know, he probably didn't see it. I've had that happen a lot of times where, you know, we watch a fight, you know, after the fight, and then the guys are like, damn, man, that shot was open, but I didn't see it while I was in there. Fighters see the fight totally different than the way we may see it from the outside. That's why, you know, sometimes when people be hard and critical on fighters, I be like, man, y'all got to give them a break. They don't see it like that. They getting punched in the head in there. You know what I mean? So Charlo seemed to kind of be in love with his hook. The hook was landing for him, and that's just the shot he was kind of looking for. So, you know.
Do you feel
you don't think he could adjust his jab a little bit? Because he kept throwing like that speed jab. Like he wasn't throwing. I know him and his brother got two different type of jabs, but his brother jab, he got like a thudding type of jab. I think he should adjust his jab a little bit more and came to right hand, he might have had more success.
That's a good point. People always compare the brothers, but you know, obviously I had to go up against the brother, and I've been looking at Jamel. Jamel, the one that just fought, is a little quicker. He can kind of like shock you a little bit more, but Jamal is more controlling with his jab. He holds his ground better. He like use it more as a whip, as a weapon. He'll hold his ground and kind of like Larry Holmes you with his jab. Where Jamel got a good jab, but Jamel give up ground. They're a little different in that aspect. You know, if I had to pick one to fight, I would rather fight Jamel because he don't jab the way his brother do. He's always trying to clip you, and if he don't clip you, he really struggles on the scorecard. I know y'all might not remember this fight, but he struggled with Demetrius Hopkins. You know, Demetrius Hopkins won like 5-6 rounds from him. Go to BoxRec and look at the scorecards of that fight. You know, I remember that because Julian was in camp sparring with Demetrius Hopkins for that fight, and Demetrius Hopkins did a real good job with him. He don't really throw a lot of jabs to control you. He kind of throwing the jab to kind of set you up for other shots. So it's a little bit different. That's a good point that you made. His brother holds his ground and kind of beats you up with a jab. So that's the one big difference between the twins, in my opinion.
Do you think at any point fatigue was starting to kick in?
Yeah, he got tired.
Yeah, because I'm a boss myself, and I always tell people that I notice when someone fatigue is kicking in, three things I always notice. One, they abandon the jab, the punch output gets low, and they start to look for that counter to put you to sleep. And I started noticing all that within the same time with y'all.
And they go to the ropes too. Don't forget about that. They go to the ropes for the rest.
But I felt like that was mostly Castano forcing him to do that too.
He was going to the ropes, man, because he was going to the rope because Castano was putting him on them ropes, brother.
Yeah,
he wasn't going there by choice. That boy was putting him on the ropes. He applies good pressure. He know what he's doing. You know, before the fight, I kept telling people that he was a real good amateur. And amateurs don't count for everything, but it does count for something. And he knows how to score points without giving up points. He know how to catch punches real good. Castano can fight. You know, he's a little undersized for the division, but he can fight.
Are there any fighters that other than your fighters, that you feel like when they fight, you feel like you have to watch it?
Oh man, that's a good question. I like Terrence Crawford. I like Boots. I'm a boxing fan, so like, I mean, I'm not gonna buy every pay-per-view with all of the influencers and all that, whatever that stuff is. I don't watch that, but I like Chocolatito. I like Nonito Donaire. I like Inal. I like Loma. I like Teofimo Lopez. Believe it or not, man, I like Gervonta Davis. He showed me a lot in that last fight, man. You know, he's better than people give him credit for. I like watching the Charlos. You know, them dudes come, they bring it. They come to knock your head off. Canelo. Now, I'm kind of an all-around guy, man. Like, some people draw lines. They don't watch Golden Boy. They don't watch The Zone. You know, they make it a
Briz. You ain't mentioning, man, you put me on your mailbox. You put me on Josh Taylor years ago. How you mention Josh Taylor, man? I know that's your guy.
You interrupted me, Josh Taylor. I'm telling the truth. It's a lot of guys that I watch. I just like good fighters, man. I don't really care if it's top ranked, The Zone, Golden Boy, PBC. Obviously, I got guys with PBC, got a relationship with PBC, but I like good fighters, man. You know, like, people might not like, I say Terrence Crawford, the best fighter in the world. He's not with PBC, but that's just my opinion. I'm not going to change my opinion because of that. You know what I mean? Like, I like great fighters.
Hey, Brad, you avoided the heavyweights, though. You don't like heavyweights?
I like heavyweights, but I'm not like the. I like Wilder. I like Fury. Heavyweight fights are big fights, so you're right. I didn't say too many heavyweights, but I like let me see, who's my favorite heavyweight? You know what? I gotta pick my guy that I'm training now, Cassius Chaney. So, but I like heavyweights too, man. You know, heavyweight boxing is a little bit different because they aren't as nimble. They aren't as you know, they just can't get around the ring the way that smaller guys can. But guess what? One punch will hurt you in heavyweight. So I was, believe it or not, y'all, I was at Fury Joshua. I'm sorry, Fury versus Wilder, the first fight. Julian fought on that undercard as a tune-up to get ready for Jared Hurd. It was December 2018. I was at that fight, man. That was a great fight, man. We sat right up the front, man. So I like heavyweight boxing too, man. But heavyweights, if I had a choice, I would watch Chocolatito apply his trade or Nonito Donaire than the heavyweight because the skill levels is different.
Right. A lot of heavyweights of the day. I get criticized for saying this I get criticized for saying this, but the heavyweights today is not like the heavyweights of back then. You know, like, it's only 3 heavyweights that you really got to look out for, and that's Fury, Joshua, and Wilder. I mean, you got your people like Andy Ruiz, Usyk, but, you know, Dylan White, they like second tier. But when you got dudes like Tyson Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis, they give you a different drive. Michael Moore's, George Foreman's. You understand what I'm saying? So I kind of get criticized for bringing the old school into a new school conversation.
I think, Briz, I think that you're right, but I think that you gotta say that in context. You picked the 90s, right? And that is the deepest or the second deepest era ever. So no era is going to be that good as far as heavyweights. That in the 70s are the deepest eras in the history of the division. So that's really not fair. That's like saying, oh man, I know somebody that was getting money in 1988.
Yeah.
Y'all don't get money anymore. That's not fair because the streets are different in 1988. So you're talking about an era where Holyfield and Bowe and Lewis, Michael Moore, George Foreman coming back, Ray Mercer, you know, Alex Stewart, even the second tier guys was big time guys. That's not fair. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be as deep.
So, you know, when I speak now, I try to avoid that but I'm going to tell you, I'm not running home to see Joseph Parker.
Listen, I understand that, but it's not really like what one thing that I learned, man. I watch what I say in front of fighters
Right,
because
right, right.
sometimes we get nostalgic and we look back at older things, right? And one day I said to myself, I said, you know what, man? A fighter can't help when they was born. So
Right.
it's not fair to keep comparing guys here to guys, you know, like what Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns and them used to do, because it's different.
And there's no way to prove it.
It's no way. First of all, there's no way to prove it. Second of all, the circumstances is different. These kids don't fight enough. It's just not enough money, networks, in the budget to pay them to be active when they get to the top level. Like a dude like James Toney, right? Anything you do, repetition make you better. So if you shoot 1,000 jump shots a day, you're gonna be able to shoot. Guy like James Toney and Roy Jones and them, they peak was so high because they fought all the time. Look how many fights James Toney had when he fought Roy Jones. He was like 26 years old. He had already had over 40 fights. He was already fighting 9 title fights in between his championship fights. These guys is fighting once every 8-9 months. They're not going to be as sharp as those guys back then. So it's not fair to them to keep comparing, you know, well, this guy's not as good as that guy. I check myself because these guys can't control that for the most part. They can't help when they was born. And it's just a different, like, it's a different era of boxing. The only top fighter that's fighting more than once every 6 months is Canelo, because he's a shot caller and he could do whatever he want to do. Everybody else got to wait 6 to 9 months to fight.
Right.
And it's not, you know, and then, you know, and people wonder, like the Charlos, they didn't look that great in their last couple of fights. Well, guess what? Last time they fought was last September. We in July.
Right.
You know, not to fight.
I was looking at that like Thurman ain't fought in 2 years. He ain't fought since the Pacquiao fight.
Listen, and he's been doing that for his whole prime. And then people wonder why he don't get no better. If you look at Thurman, look what he fought Danny Garcia for one time that year, Sean Porter one time that year. He been fighting once a year all through his prime. Then you wonder why guys don't get no better. You know what I'm saying? It's just different these days. So I'm careful with trying to compare guys from eras, because it's not really fair to these guys, and they get offended because they can't help when they was born. Are we supposed to be answering these questions coming up at the screen? Because I see people saying stuff.
Did y'all see the Four Kings documentary?
See why I can't hear you, man.
Y'all seen the Four Kings documentary?
Not yet. I want to.
Like,
I seen them all.
Yeah, that right there make it like it'd be hard when a dude like Ray lose and come back in 3 months to get his win back. So like that'd be hard. You'd be like, man, like Ray wanted that win back. He said, like when Tommy lost, he said, I'm gonna move up and get another belt and another belt. So
yeah, they not like that.
Different.
These and a loss hurts you more because these kids is on social media, and then you got these trolls that say whatever they want to say to them, and they can't really take a loss like that. Where before you could lose, guys jump right back in the ring. Now you lose, you got to sit on it. You got to think. You got people saying all kinds of stuff to you, man, with no kind of repercussions, man. It's a shame some of the stuff these people say to boxers, man. I block 2-3 people a day on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? It's different. I feel bad. These kids can't take a loss.
Well, what about, I remember like back in the day, they said a dude to leave his family for training camp. I think a dude should leave that phone alone for training camp.
Listen, I've been telling I tell grown men that every day. Put your phone down. Put it in your bag. Give me your phone. At 9 o'clock at night, if we in camp, turn your phone off. I see fighters getting ready for the biggest fights of their life. They on social media 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning when they should be asleep. It's crazy. You staring at this phone all day, you're not going to be able to concentrate. It's going to pull you off your stride, and somebody going to say something to you that's going to get to you, because these fans are just brutal. And these kids they never learn. They never put their phone down. They walk in the gym staring at their phone. Somebody said, do you ever think you see a pound-for-pound fighter fight more than twice a year? Canelo.
Right.
Yeah, Canelo doing it.
But even Triple G and Chocolatito, when they was fighting 3-4 times a year, they was at their best.
Listen, the most improvement that I ever made with Julian Williams was 2013, 14, 15. Know why? He was fighting 4 or 5 times a year. He was rolling. He was making all the prospect lists, everything. You know what I'm saying? Even fighting twice a year, you could do it, but you got to stay in the gym. But when you fighting once a year, man, that's hard because fighters don't train with the same motivation when they don't have a fight on the books. They may tell you that they do, but they don't. They don't stay in the gym the same. Women, drinking, partying. Then when they get a date, they may clean up. But it's hard to keep turning the switch on and off. That's why you see these up and down, uneven performances like that.
Yeah, Ward was spot on with that too. I remember he put out a 10 rule of what fighters should be doing year round.
He a different kind of dude, though.
Yeah, he is. I agree.
Different kind of dude. He dedicated.
All-time great.
He dedicated to his woman. Trained a different kind of way. He could lock in. Ain't no phone in the gym with him. I've been in the gym with him before. Ain't no phone in the gym with him. He don't even barely talk to you until he done his work. I've been out there. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the places where I've done camps at. Ward a different kind of dude. He lock in different. Yeah. I've had grown men that I got to tell to stop talking in the gym. Ward come in the gym. He'll talk to you in the gym, but he'll talk to you after his workout done. You got to wait 2 hours to talk to him. He different kind of dude. He can lock in, man, but most of these guys can't lock in.
I see you. I follow you on Twitter, and I see you keep up with boxing a lot. You always give me your predictions on fights. Is there any fight coming up that you're really looking forward to?
Well, you got Spence Pacquiao.
You got
Tell me what plan. Canelos.
AJ got announced too.
You know what, man? I think obviously Pacquiao Spence a big fight. I think Spence should win a decision. You said Usyk and AJ.
Yeah.
I like AJ that fight, man. I think that Usyk been struggling, and don't nobody in the media talk about it. Yeah. He hasn't looked that good. You know what I mean? He's like in a performance slump a little bit.
Because he ain't been active, bro. He ain't been active.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like you said, he dominated the cruiserweight division, and after the Bellew fight, he was inactive.
You're right. In 2018, he won Fighter of the Year, and then disappeared. He lost all his momentum. You're right.
But what about AJ? AJ ain't been active neither, though. He ain't fought since Ruiz.
Yes, he did. He knocked out. He knocked out. I think Char.
And Pula.
Pula.
Pula. He got a brutal. He brutally knocked him out.
Yeah, so IBF mandatory. Some BS.
Yeah.
What you think about the Pacquiao with the 2-year layoff? How they gonna affect him?
He's special, man.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's gonna win this fight. I just think he's too small. But I think that he's gonna have his moments. Somebody said kind of like Hagler and Duran. That's what I had said. I think it could be one of those fights. I don't think Earl could blow him out. I don't think he's gonna blow him out. Manny different.
What you think about what Keith said? What Keith said? I'm sorry. When Danny said Keith hit harder than Earl, does that factor into it? Because Manny took some shots from Keith, some clean shots. I watched that fight the other day. He took some shots from Keith.
I mean, Danny was in there with him. That's his opinion.
Yeah,
one thing I know about fighters, though, man, you'd be surprised. You could ask 3 or 4 fighters who fought the same guy, like line up some guys that hit, and they'll tell you each one hit different. Fighters have like a blind spot. You ever drive down the street, you got like a blind spot where people come up on you? Fighters have a blind spot, and certain kind of punchers bother certain kind of fighters. So Earl didn't think that Danny didn't think that Earl hit that hard. Some people might think Earl do hit hard. You know what I'm saying? Like the only person I ever heard universal opinion about their power is Triple G. I had Karan Davis and Julian Williams in camp with him, and both of them was like, yo, his shit different. He hit you, it's like it numb you. His shit is different. But for the most part, everybody don't have the same opinion on who could punch. You know what I mean? So if that's what Danny say, I could believe that. Danny been in tough, and he got a good chin, so he know who could punch and who can't. I heard what he said. He said that Earl's more physically strong than he is a hard puncher. And physical strength and punching power is different.
Yeah, completely.
Completely different. You could be really, really strong and not be able to punch. And you don't have to be the strongest guy in the world, because power and strength is different. Power is like your explosive and how you deliver a shot. Strength is how much you can move and things like that. People are always confused that they think big muscles mean you can punch hard, but it don't.
He also said something small that I feel like will play, and it can help Pacquiao a lot, a hurdle. Said Spence, no matter where you at in the ring, you can always feel his presence in front of you. And I feel like it's going to very much help Pacquiao hurt him. I just don't know yet.
Earl like a downhill fighter. Like you see like a power running back that just keep 3-4 yards like downhill. That's how kind of Earl is. Earl's like a downhill fighter, just walk behind the jab, just kind of pound you out. But Pacquiao, man, is super talented dude. He really is. He like a real weird talented guy, man. He could like do little things. His twitch fibers, he more talented than Earl. I'm talking about like God-given ability, more talented than Earl. He old, so I don't expect him to win, but I do expect him to be real competitive.
What you think Pacquiao need to do to win?
I think, believe it or not, Briz, that's a great question. I think that he need to get the crowd on his side early. Judges is human. They're not in soundproof booths. They sitting right there at ringside. And when you got a fighter that popular and the crowd go crazy every single time they punch, it influences the judges. People can say that it doesn't, but it does. I was at the Trout Canelo fight. Every time Canelo landed a punch, the crowd would go crazy. There was no way Trout could win a decision in there. He had nobody in there rooting for him. So that it influences you. So I think you got to get the crowd on his side early, and he got to catch Earl with something early to kind of disrupt Earl a little bit, to disrupt his rhythm, to disrupt that downhill slide that Earl kind of puts you on. I think that Pacquiao also has to figure out how to deal with Earl jab. Earl jab really is his best punch. His southpaw jab is like a ramrod. It's like on a Michael Moore tip or Ike Cortez, but from the southpaw stance. That really is his best punch. So Pacquiao got to figure a way to disrupt his jab. And if he can, we got a fight on our hands.
Do you think that Errol Spence will buy into the stand and toe-to-toe like he did with Porter? Like Pacquiao tried to tell him, like, look, let's stand toe-to-toe. Floyd was scared to do that.
I don't think that, to be honest.
I don't think that he chose to stand to Earl. I don't think he chose to stand toe-to-toe with Porter. Porter bulldog. He made him. See, sometimes, man, we don't give the other guy credit. He didn't choose to stand there. Sean Porter will bull rush you like a football player and make you fight him like that.
Well, before the fight, Spence did say he was going to stand there and go toe-to-toe in spots. He said that during the Porter fight. Now, I'm pretty sure that Porter did make him fight that type of fight. But I'm talking about at the press conference when Pacquiao told Earl, stand there, like stand in the middle of the ring. You think Earl?
I think that if Earl do that, he'd be foolish.
You better not fall for that Pacquiao nice guy routine. You better not fall for it.
He said he won't.
He's Manny Pacquiao act nice, but he's a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He a killer for real, man. You can't do what he did for as long as he did and not be. That dude turned pro like in 1995, man. I graduated high school in 1994.
I was
the
born
fact that he's still fighting, man. That Joker, man, he's a special dude. If Earl stand in the center of the ring, fight him.
I know when you graduated, man.
If Earl try to fight him punch for punch, man, he gonna get I don't think that would be a good idea. But here go the thing, man. Earl got a lot of pressure on him, right? Because he fighting a dude that's this big, he like a midget. He fighting a dude that's 42 years old. He really like if he what they say he is, he should be able to handle Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a little bit of pressure in this fight. Like he don't want to struggle to know this. It's not gonna look right if you look at him in a comparative state. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this can't be a 1-point fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's pressure on him. He gotta do his thing. You know what I mean? It be no controversial fight.
he got to have a Mikey Garcia type performance.
Close to it.
You know,
I
you
mean,
said
like it wouldn't look good for a dude 31 years old, way bigger, way taller, way longer, to be fighting a freaking 42-year-old midget. It's just not going. That's been off 2 years. It's not going to look good. He got to do his thing in this fight. You know what I mean? Like, there's pressure on him, not from me. Like, like to me, a win is a win. But I'm talking about from the media and from the historians that's comparing him to the people that he's been compared to. He can't struggle in this fight. Just the way it is. You know, that's the good side and the bad side. Is he gonna make a lot of money? But when you take a fight against an older fighter like this, it's some pressure on him in this fight.
no, you said one of your fighters is at 54, right?
No. I got a kid, Jaron Davis. He's at 60 and 68.
60. My bad.
I got another kid at 35. I got a heavyweight and another kid at 122.
With them rise, I know it might be too far ahead, but is there any names they look at now, like later down the line, I want to fight them? Because, you know,
are you guys familiar with Jaron Davis? He just fought Anthony Durrell.
Yeah.
Yeah, in February.
At the draw, right?
You got it. You got it.
Okay.
He's looking at a couple of guys. We looked at Duranchenko, Edgar Berlanga. So we got to see. Who knows, man? Fights is weird. I got a kid named Zachary Ochoa. He's moving down to 135. You guys familiar with Miguel Berchelt? He just lost to Oscar Valdez. So he might be a comeback opponent for him. So we'll see. You know, boxing, man, you know, it's very much political. You got to be able to get the fights. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just don't get the opportunities. So you got to keep plugging away, man. Obviously, the goal is always to win the world title, man. That's the best feeling in the world. But, you know, you just got to just see what your opportunities are.
With you being a trainer, what to you do you feel was the best moment of your career?
Julian beating Jared Hurd. That was a big moment. That was a big moment, man. It was a big moment because so many people thought he was going to lose.
I remember that fight.
Briz saw me at the Police and Fire Credit Union. Was like, y'all going to win it this time. Talking shit to me.
Yeah.
That was a big moment, man, because as a competitive person, you know, like, I like when the chips are stacked against me. You know, nobody thought he was going to win, man. Even dudes on our own team was questioning, should we go to his hometown? Should we do this? Should we do that? You know, man.
That was the time
I stood on the ground, man. You know, when I got the call, I said, look, we go to his hometown, make sure that money right, make sure we get a deal. If we win, make sure we got drug testing, and we're going to go to his hometown. And he gave me everything I wanted. And I told Julian, I said, yo, we're going to go to his hometown. Don't worry about nothing. The pressure going to be on him. You know, the judge is going to be fair. We're going to go to his hometown. And it was really basically me and him. You know, we caught a train down there. They didn't think we was going to win that fight. We didn't even get a post-fight press conference. You know what I mean? So, yeah, look up online. You never going to see a post-fight press conference. What happened is the reporters there walked to the dressing room and interviewed us because they didn't even give us a podium. We caught an Uber back. Nobody thought we was going to win that fight. Nobody did. Everybody was laughing. Nobody was laughing after about the second and third round. So
I remember heard at the weigh-ins doing a little, like he was way
everybody thought it was a joke. They thought it was a joke. They really did, man. You know, unfortunately, you know, we couldn't keep the momentum, but that probably was the biggest moment of my Karan's last fight was a big moment for me too, man, because he took the fight on short notice. Nobody knew this, but he was coming off the COVID. He moved up to 68, and it was another fight where he was a big underdog. And I think he did great. The announcers kind of, you know, wanted to influence people to make it seem like Darrell was doing things that he wasn't doing. If he was there live, you know, he really wasn't doing much, you know. So I was proud of that moment too, man, because one thing about boxing, man, that I'm not saying y'all know or not know, but a lot of trainers, you know, if you have the better, more talented fighter or the A side in the fight, that's a little different as you coming in to lose the fight. That's a little different you coming in on the B side where the judges is against you, the promotion is against you. You don't have the time to prepare that other guys have. I've been on both sides of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these trainers, you know, they only get the fight when they the dog on the top. You know, it's a little different when you don't have the more talented guy or the bigger guy or the faster guy or the guy that's supposed to win, and you got to come in and you got to perform and put yourself on that level, man. So it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? So, like, I respect all trainers, but not everybody have to go through that, you know? So, you know, those was my two big moments where my guys was looked at as, like, cannon fodder. Like, all right, we're going to bring them in here. They're going to get their asses kicked. So, you know, that's that was big moments for me.
What's your I know, but for people out here,
When's it?
there's people out there listening. Like, what's your opinion on the drug testing for championship fights?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. With boxing, the only sport where the person fighting get to choose when they start testing. How crazy is that? Just think about that. If me and Briz fighting, my people got to contact VADA to say, all right, we're going to fight on October 1st. Let's start testing, let's say around the second week of August. You telling them when you're going to start the testing.
Yeah.
To fail a test, you almost got to be like stupid or the B side because you decide when the testing start. So you can always clean up. It's ridiculous. I'm not even trying to be funny. It's insane. Like, you have to be an idiot to fail a test in boxing that you get to know when the testing starts and stops. It's a joke. I'm serious. And I want you to peep this. I'm never going to call out nobody's name. Don't look at what people say. Look at what they don't say. Look at all the top fighters that don't never, ever talk about drug testing or ask for drug testing for certain fights. Think about that. Look at these fights and be like, damn, was it drug testing in that fight? It's very few top guys that ask for drug testing in fights. Very, very few that openly ask for it. It's one of the reasons why I respect Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is a guy, man, people can say what they want about him. He's transparent with his drug testing. He always he's caught a bunch of guys. He's real transparent. It's about a handful of guys in boxing that's like transparent like that, man. Most guys don't even ask for it. You got to sit back and say, damn, you willing to fight a dude and put yourself on a line like this? Nonito Donaire is the king of clean boxing. He was pulled out of a 7-figure fight because the dude didn't fill out the paperwork in time. He's the king of it. But very few people is like Nonito Donaire, man. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. I try to do my part. You know what I mean? I fought for VADA testing. Even when we couldn't afford it, we was in a clean testing program. I used to call VADA and be like, yo, y'all could test this anytime. I've tested for fights where the other opponent didn't even test. I've always been big on that because I know I got clean fighters. If I got a fighter that come up dirty, it was either a mistake or I'm leaving his ass. I don't play that, man. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people even want to put themselves out there like that. But the drug testing in boxing is just, it's laughable. No other sport is like that. No other sport do the contestants decide when they're going to start and stop testing. It's ridiculous. You really can't fail if you got a good cheater on your side. You can't fail because you know when it's going to start. So we'll see.
In my opinion, I think once you rank by section of the body, it should be drug testing on the line. I mean, that's just my opinion. Because
somebody a prospect enrolled in VADA. The problem is, my man, the prospects don't have the money. The VADA costs. So the prospects can't afford it. Really, only the 6-figure fighters can afford it, and prospects don't make 6 figures. So that's the problem. It does cost money to get full VADA testing. You know what I mean? So most guys don't even want to be bothered with it unless they're making $250 and up per fight. So that's an issue. Money is an issue.
I got one last question. I know a lot of people want to know. And even though I know he's fighting Pacquiao next, but it's a question everybody wants to know. And I know you say you're a big Crawford fan. if somehow in the near future Crawford and Spence happens? How do you see that?
You know what, man? I think that it's one of those fights I can't really say right now because I got to see the form that they showing before the fight because things is fluid. I got to see how Pacquiao look when he I'm sorry, Errol Spence looked versus Pacquiao. Like, peep this. They picked Errol Spence for a reason. They picked him because they think that Errol Spence is easier than Terrence Crawford. Don't get it twisted. They could have picked Terrence Crawford, but somebody in Pacquiao's team thinks that Errol Spence is an easier fight than Terrence Crawford is. So, I think Spence and Crawford is a close fight. You know, Earl's a little bigger. He's a little naturally bigger man. He got a great jab. You gotta just see. I can answer that better if they fight, and then I could kind of judge on the form that they in going into the. You know, Crawford about to be 34, man. You know what I mean? So things change. He gotta get that big fight sooner than later.
Yeah, that's a fact.
The Jeff Warren fight could have told you why Pacquiao picked Spence too.
I know this for a fact. Freddie Roach is real high on Terrence Crawford. He's high on him. He thinks he don't like he not political with his words. He'll tell you that Crawford is way better than Spence. So he's Manny Pacquiao's trainer. So he probably I don't know, but I'm assuming that he probably like, yo, pick him. Don't mess with the other guy. And when you Manny Pacquiao, you can pick who you want. You know, he a boss.
And you see how I remember a couple years ago when Thurman came back, he fought Josiah Lopez, and what Freddie Roach said after the fight, he said, "No, I seen that fight. Manny could beat him."
Yeah, Freddie Roach.
And we can go way back. Remember he trained Oscar. And he trained Ivan Calderon, and he seen Calderon get Oscar work in the gym. And once Oscar fired him, he said when Bob came in with a Pacquiao fight, yeah, Manny could beat him. He's slow. He can't. He struggles with smaller guys. So Freddie got an eye for who his fighter can beat or like struggle with a little bit. So Freddie know what he's doing.
You're right, my man. He's very he don't really talk as much as he used to. He getting older and the Parkinson and stuff, but he a sharp guy, real sharp. And he knows what he's looking at. He also knew what he was looking at with Miguel Cotto and Sergio Martinez. I won a lot of money on that fight. He kept saying, Sergio Martinez, keep his hands down too much. You got to follow his hands back. He kept saying it over and over again. Sergio Martinez wasn't that. Miguel Cotto went out there and knocked him out. So Freddie Roach.
I want money.
My man knee was done, Briz. I don't know, Briz. My man knee was done, Briz.
I think I won some money. Man. I think I won money off of you that fight.
Yeah, well, my man knee was done.
Can I tell you something about his knee? He ain't walking the ring limping. Yeah, he did walk in the ring limping. You know what I mean? So, like, when people say that, I always say Cotto was the underdog. Cotto was the smaller guy. Cotto was the one that came off the bad beatings from Pacquiao and Margarito. He lost back-to-back to Floyd and Austin Trout. So everybody always make the excuses for the knee. Cotto wasn't in his prime. Cotto was way past his best day.
That's a fact.
And listen,
I'm not no excuse maker, man. Because guess what? Sergio Martinez could have picked Triple G. He picked on Cotto. He picked the smaller guy.
That's a bigger payday, Briz. That's a bigger payday, Briz.
And he tried to come in there. And he tried to come in the ring with a knee brace on.
Yeah.
He been with that brace.
He listen. You think Cotto was 100% after what Margarito did to him with that plaster?
Hell no.
All right, man, you got to give that boy credit for that, man. Everybody always say that. I'll be like, yo, y'all act like Cotto was 25 years old when they fought. He was way past his best day when they fought.
I ain't saying that, Briz, but they ain't the boy that fought Kelly Pavlik, man.
And it wasn't the Cotto that beat Zab Judah. The same goal.
Cotto lost to Salam. Cotto lost to Salam the next fight.
Not the next one, but close to it. Yeah. Yeah, he just beat him, man. Freddie Roach is sharp. He's a sharp dude. He don't talk as much as he used to. He must see something in Spence. You know? So, you know what I mean? I respect him, man. And I think it's gonna be a great fight. I think Spence gonna win, but I think Manny gonna put up a good fight.
Hey, bro, one more before you go. I think you gotta go. You think Boost ready for Keith Thurman or Sean Porter? Who guys? He ready for them guys?
Jaron Ennis is the best fighter I've ever seen in my entire life in the gym. If he can transfer that to a real fight, you're looking at a pound for pound guy. He's the best I've ever laid my two eyes on in the gym that I've seen with my own two eyes.
That says a lot.
I hired that kid in 2014 during Ramadan to spar Julian at night. Julian was 24. He was 17 years old. And he came down and gave us work. And he didn't even ask for money. I paid him because he was so good. That kid is phenomenal. He could fight. He's a nice kid, but in the ring, he's an animal. They better leave him alone. That's what they better do. Keith Thurman can't beat him. Y'all can talk that experience stuff all they want. He can't beat that boy. I'm going to say it again so y'all don't have to ask me again. Jaron Ennis is the best fighter I've ever seen with my own two eyes in the gym, sparring in the gym. I'm not saying it's going to be a real fight because it's different. He got to do it in a real fight. There's no headgear, judges, small gloves. I get all of that. But I'm telling you, in the gym, that joker is serious. He is a mixture. Do y'all remember Mark Too Sharp Johnson?
Yep.
He a mixture of Mark Too Sharp Johnson. And please don't get mad at me for saying this, because I ain't saying he better than this person.
I feel like I know you about to say.
Mark Too Sharp Johnson and Roy fucking Jones. I'm telling you, I'm not even exaggerating. That's who he a mixture of. I'm not saying he better than Roy. I wouldn't do that to him. Roy probably the biggest, freakiest talent I ever seen. But that kid is that good, man. He that good. He really is. Listen, I never seen him have a bad day in the gym. I'm not even lying. I never seen him have a bad day in the gym. I never seen nobody get the better. I seen people get the better of him before. Anybody get you in the gym, people get the better of you. I never seen no better of him 2 times in a row. I'm not even exaggerating. Never. And I don't want the kids spar at least 30, 40 times. I never seen nobody get the better of him twice in a row. I'm not.
Briz, one more, because Briz on the key good. Briz, Briz. Give us your opinion on Demetrius Andrade, because Briz don't like his style. And me and Sibbie big fans.
I'm not crazy about his style, but I respect the fact that he keep getting them wins. I think he make a lot of mistakes. He loop his punches. His hair be all over the place. He makes a lot of mistakes, but he get the job done. I would like to see the Jamal Charlo fight. I think that's a great fight.
He throws the uppercut from 4 feet away.
He makes a lot of mistakes, but nobody has made him pay for it yet. So he got an awkward, quirky style. I respect him. I tell you one thing about him that I respect. He's one of the few fighters that believe in putting that needle in their arm and drug testing people. So, you know, I know about these things behind the scenes. Maybe that's why he don't get the fights that people think he deserves, because he gonna drug test you.
And man, gonna say it's true. He got great gym habits. He always in the gym.
He can fight, but he does make mistakes. It seemed like he gonna get clipped. His hands be down. He throws uppercut from too far away, but it never happens. So I mean, he's 33. I would like to see him step up in competition so we can see what he really is. See, this is why I don't like to compare eras. I'm gonna show you why. He from the 2008 Olympics, right? He been pro 13 years. He 33 years old. He got like over 30 fights. We still don't really know what he is. See how long it taken this era? It takes so long because they didn't fight.
That's what I'm saying about him. Like, you're saying everything that I said about him. You understand what I'm saying? I just want him to step. Like, I noticed that he make a lot of mistakes. And when you meet the guys that you claim that's avoiding you, like the Charlos and the fighters of that nature, when you meet them, they might expose your mistakes. And until you fight them, you keep getting wins over these I'm not gonna call him. You need them big names. You need the big names.
I agree with you. I would like to see him step up and fight certain people. I don't know whose fault it is because I don't have nothing to do with his negotiations. But, you know, at 33 years old, how long he's been pro, you know, I think it's time for us to see exactly where he is in his career. But I think he's a talented fighter. I like him. He's a real cool guy. He can fight. But he do make mistakes. He throws some weird loopy punches. But again, you know, you can't really break a sport down like that because sometimes when you nitpick people and you pick all the little things that they do wrong, sometimes they sum total is bigger than their parts. He do make mistakes. He do throw his uppercut from too far away. He do fight with his hands down, but it never cost him a fight yet. So I want to see him step up and see if it cost him a fight. Let's see, you know, let's see where he's at.
And I think with him, it goes back to your point earlier with inactivity, because I don't tell people much because they don't ask much, but that's actually my favorite fighter right now. He became my favorite fighter at 154 with the Brian Rose performance at 54. At 54, I felt like no one could beat him. But then he was having, you know, out the ring issues with promotional companies. I think he was out for about 2 years at one point, and when he moved up, he never looked the same to me.
I could buy that. He put on a lot of muscle when he moved up. Yeah. He got like bigger. His body changed a little bit.
Like he never went back to that 54 version of himself to me. But I still like him the same.
I want to see him in Charlo because, like I said, when I watch Charlo fight, like when I watched Andrade against what's his name, Luke Keeler. I said Charlo knock him out, but then I watched Charlo versus what's my man name, Montiel. And I'm like, Boo Boo could beat him. So it's like they go by their performance on who I think can beat.
They go back and forth as far as who I think will win too. I ain't gonna lie because that last fight that Andre had against boy from England, Williams, that boy hurt Andre.
Yeah,
he did.
He hurt Andre, and Charlo's better than him. And then if you look at Charlo versus Montiel, you like, damn, he had that much trouble with Montiel. So it's tough. I mean, guess what? Fights ain't won on paper. They won in the ring. They need to fight. You know what I'm saying? They can fight.
And I also feel like both of them will bring out the best of each other. I feel like them being in the ring with each other, that might be the best. Whoever wins that might be the best performance we see from either one of them.
And the press conference is going to be gold. The press conference is going to be gold.
They're going to need security because they don't like each other.
I feel like the press conference would be better with Andrade and Jamel rather than Andrade and Jamal.
But he gonna be there. You know he gonna be there.
You're right.
He'll be there at the press conference. And Andre don't seem to hate them as much as he does. But the press conference is gonna be tough, man. They kind of hate Andre.
All right, well, guess we're gonna wrap it up, Brad.
Yeah,
I appreciate you coming
on, man.
I appreciate you coming through for me, man.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I gotta hit you up so my son can get his cut, man.
I see you when you come through. Whenever you come through, I got you.
Hey, Brad, I got one favor.
All right, man. Thanks for the interview, man.
I was gonna ask on Twitter. I like to talk boxing, and I like looking at your tweets. I was gonna ask, could you follow me? Because sometimes I like to talk I want to talk boxing with you up there, just tweeting back and forth.
Tag me in something because I got a lot of, I don't even be knowing, bro. I honestly don't. If I ignored you, I apologize. I ain't like that. I just didn't even know.
No, nothing personal. That's all. I understand.
Yeah. Just tag me on something and I'll follow you.
Okay, no problem.
All right, cool.
We gotta get Briz on there. We gotta get Briz on Twitter. Briz is sleeping.
Hey, Briz, hold on right quick too, because Jamel Henry, I wonder if he's still in here. I'm gonna try to get him on if he is.
But yeah, Sib, you gotta get Briz on Twitter. Briz be bullshitting.
I don't know how to do it.
Briz might go back and forth with a lot of people on there.
Oh, you know that about me? You would like that though. Listen, that's how I get. Listen, I be getting people. Listen, man, people fuck with me because of that.
I seen we had Jamel Henry watching when Briz was on.
Yo, we got Ellie Setback. Y'all seen that?
Yeah, I seen that too. I didn't want to say
that. I can't hear you, bro. Where you at?
My bad, my AirPod. I said
that's iPhone 1.
No, Ellie Setback.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't see Heron in here. No. I was trying to catch him while he was on. Let me see if I can send him this.
my shit.
Hopefully,
I'm
DM.
I'm I'm gonna come right back and I'm gonna put my joint on the charger for a little. My joint ready to check out.
Well, he ain't on here, so I could just try to get him another day.
All right, just let me know what's up.
All right, yeah, I hit y'all.
All right, bro.
All right.